Hello, everyone, once again. This is Rob, and welcome back to Media Awareness and another album review. Before I continue, however, a reminder the fundraiser continues. For those of you new to my channel or unaware, I am a disabled individual and I use a motorized wheelchair slash scooter all day, every day for my independence, and I need your help. My insurance will not cover anything with regard to my scooter, as they view it as a quote luxury item end quote, despite the fact that I am unable to walk whatsoever, in addition to being unable to use any other type of scooter or power chair, or even a standard wheelchair for that matter, as I only have limited dexterity in one hand. In addition to that, I do not have a backup scooter or wheelchair to rely on at the current time. So if my scooter does malfunction, as it did a few months ago, I will yet again be a fish out of water, a scenario I want to avoid at all costs. With that stated, below the title of this video in the description, as well as in a separate section below the information pertaining to this particular album, I have a spot fund link linked. It is a fundraiser. It's easy to contribute. Takes a few seconds. You can even contribute anonymously, and any and all help is welcome. Even $5 or $10 can make a huge difference. And the purpose of this fundraiser is to both continue the ongoing refurbishing of my existing scooter, which is from 2019, and now that we are in 2025, I am definitely in need of new parts. However, in addition to that, I have decided to also save to have enough to purchase a brand new scooter as well. These two goals are really pertinent and uh, came to fruition, if you will, a few months ago when my scooter malfunctioned and I was dependent upon family and friends for roughly 2 weeks to push me around my own home, which severely limited my independence, but it also was a long overdue wake up call that I need a backup plan in motion and in mind, and the backup plan is to have a brand new scooter to use day to day, moment to moment, and a backup scooter to use if necessary, when necessary, if my primary scooter does malfunction. So, as stated, please do what you can. The spot funds link below. I do want to extend a gracious thanks to those who have contributed thus far, in addition to those who plan on contributing, as your contributions have and will make a world of difference in my life. Thank you all. I love you all. If you are not yet subscribed to Media Awareness, please consider subscribing to my channel and becoming part of the Media Awareness family. I'd love to have you. Also, like and share. Let me know your thoughts on Bass Communion. If you have heard this particular Stephen Wilson project and your thoughts on this project. There are several Bass Communion albums out. This is really an amazing CD. This was graciously provided to me by a viewer, and I was asked to review this and add this to my ever growing Stephen Wilson Porcupine Tree and Assorted collection. And this is truly a magnificent um, achievement in ambient expressionism. Now I'm going to have a friend assist me in giving you a closer look at this and the artwork inside. And after that, I will give you my thoughts on the tracks on this. I will have a track listing that we displayed on the screen for you as well. However, this is not your average listening experience. This is, like I said, ambient expressionism, and I will go into more detail once I have the artwork and the actual packaging displayed for you. That way, we can cover that in more detail then. Then here is the Bass Communion itself of itself, and this is what you get. You have the barcode actually on this removable piece of cardboard. So the actual disc itself does not have any kind of barcode at all. It's incredible artwork, um, really impressive. And of course, this is, for those of you uninitiated, this is Stephen Wilson's, one of his many projects, his ambient exploration. And this is the most recent from last year, 2024. And here we have the booklet. And the booklet has some incredible photos as well. The artwork on this is really superb, and I would say it's worth it just for the artwork, but the ambient nature of the music really accompanies the artwork quite well. Um, and the CD is housed in a old school style LP sleeve on the inside, and it is easy enough to get out and back in, and there you have it. CD itself also has a really nice pattern on it, and yeah, it's an incredible CD, and it accompanies Steve Wilson's newest album rather well as well, as a accompanying piece in my opinion. Really, they both go hand in hand rather nicely, but that's just me. But there you have it. Bass Communion itself of itself, and thank you.
You're welcome.
So there you have a look at Bass Communion, the itself of itself. And if you can, I really recommend getting your hands on this in your choice of formats as soon as possible. It is not available to stream on Spotify. It is not available to stream on Amazon. This is exclusive to vinyl and CD, I believe, and this is really an experience. That's the best way I can describe this CD. It's an experience. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and give you my thoughts on these tracks. However, they do flow into one another rather effortlessly, and I really, I closed my eyes and listened to this album, and I was just amazed at the images it was able to manifest in my mind as I listened to it. So, it's definitely a ambitious work. It is definitely inspiring work, and I will say more after we go through the tracks themselves. So we start out the album with the track Unperson, and as I said, this is all ambient music, so I'm just going to go through these tracks, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it overall afterwards. The second track on this is Aberration 3. My apologies for that. Aberration 3. Track 3 is Bruises. Track 4 is Blackmail. Track 5 is the title track, The Itself of Itself. Track 6 is Study for Tape Hiss and Other Audio Effects. And the final track is Apparition 5. So, going through these tracks, what they did for me as a listener, as I stated, they conjured images. Um, and it was really as if a sonic landscape was being translated into visual images in my mind. And it really was an effortless experience to actually have. And that's the best way to describe this album, as stated, as an experience. It's something that can be appreciated for the artistic expressionism and the ambitious nature of this audio experimentation. Bass Communion is Stephen Wilson's experimentation into audio uh, expressionism and is really influenced quite heavily by Caroline Stockhausen um, and his work back in the time when he was composing and really pushing the envelope of what was possible sonically and what could be evoked really by that sonic exploration. And this is sort of, in my opinion, a continuation of that experimentation. Um, and I have listened to a few of the other Bass Communion albums online. I don't own any as of yet, aside from this. And uh, I'm eager to do so because these are really interesting and they're all different, and yet the soundscapes that we hear sometimes are unnerving, sometimes they are soothing or calming, sometimes they are just a landscape, if you will, of sound. And what I mean by that is it's as if sound has been translated into vision, and that's something that a lot of musicians have experimented with over the years. Uh, Aside from Caroline Stockhausen, Sun Ra has also done uh, experimentation in that realm. But what's interesting about this particular album is really how far it goes in that aspect. Um, and I just love listening to it from beginning to end. And it's not terribly long, it's about average album length. Um, and it really does what it sets out to do. So I would highly recommend adding this to your Stephen Wilson collection if you are a fan of Stephen Wilson. If you are curious about ambient music and or Stephen's experimentation into ambient music, do yourself a favor and pick up this album, The Itself of Itself, in your choice of formats, either CD or vinyl, as soon as possible, as it was listed as a limited edition run. With all of that stated, this is a must have, and I highly recommend Bass Communion, The Itself of Itself, and like I said, get it while you can, and it's still at an affordable rate. Fortunately, as stated, I was quite lucky to receive this from a viewer of my channel, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for having this sent my way, and I'm treasuring this more than I can convey here. So I hope you all appreciate this, and I hope you all Have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.